We are hearing SRIMAD Bhagavatam. Yesterday we heard that this knowledge about devotion to Supreme Lord, Kapil Bhagavan said to Devahuti, instruction should be given to the faithful devotee who is respectful to the spiritual master, non-envious, friendly to all kinds of living entities, and eager to render service with faith and sincerity. Friendly to all kinds of living entities means he will not eat meat, and other living entities, maybe he's of another country, another color or anything, but he will know all are coming from Supreme Lord, all are sons and daughters of same Supreme Lord. So how I can kill my brother? How I can harm my brother or sister? They will see like this. And they are eager to render service with faith and sincerity. Bahir jata viragaya shanta chitaya diyatam nirmatsaraya shuchaya yasyaham preyasam priya. This instruction should be imparted by the spiritual master to persons who have taken the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be more dear than anything, who are not envious of anyone, who are perfectly cleansed, and who have developed detachment for that which is outside the purview of Krishna consciousness. Here Sai Maharaj is giving in commentary. In the beginning, no one can be elevated to the highest stage of devotional service. Here, bhakta means one who does not hesitate to accept the reformatory process for becoming a bhakta. He is ready to accept the process. In order to become a devotee of the Lord, one has to accept a spiritual master and inquire from him about how to progress in devotional service. To serve a devotee, to chant the holy name according to a certain counting method, to worship the deity, to hear SRIMAD Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita from a realized person, and to live in a sacred place where devotional service is not disturbed, are the first out of 64 devotional activities for making progress in devotional service. One who has accepted these 5 chief activities is called a devotee. This is in Vaidhi mark. You have to take shelter of spiritual master, and you have to take diksha and shiksha, and you have to worship deity. All this is in Vaidhi mark. But in Raga mark, there is no such kind of initiation and these things. That is internal. You will be attracted by devotion of certain Brajavasi who is serving Krishna, and you will follow that bhav, you will follow that service. But there is no like this initiation. Also for hearing Bhagavat, to do Shravan Kirtan, there is no need of formal initiation. In Bhagavat mark, in Bhava mark, like Parikit Maharaj, he surrendered to Shukadev Goswami, and Shukadev was speaking Harikatha, and Parikit Maharaj was hearing, and he got perfection. But because we are having those 2 defects of not pure character due to previous bad habits and unstable mind, that is why these practices of initiation and all these things, and you have to be regulated for sinful activities, for regulative principles, and in a regulated manner you have to do. That is meant for those who are not on that pure platform, to get purified. For us that is necessary. And live in Dham and all this. One who has accepted these 5 chief activities is called a devotee. One must be prepared to offer the necessary respect and honor to the spiritual master. He should not be unnecessarily envious of his god brothers. Rather, if a god brother is more enlightened and advanced in Krishna consciousness, one should accept him as almost equal to the spiritual master, and one should be happy to see such god brothers advance in Krishna consciousness. A devotee should always be very kind to the general public in instructing Krishna consciousness, because that is the only solution for getting out of the clutches of Maya. Sai Maharaj told in class, I was hearing, one may give food and cloth and medicine, all these things that will help someone on bodily platform, but that will not totally remove all suffering. Only Krishna consciousness can remove, because forgetfulness of Krishna is the root cause of all suffering. So to inspire someone to be devoted to Krishna, that is the actual kindness to all. Because that is the only solution for getting out of the clutches of Maya. We are in Maya because of being averse to Krishna. When you surrender to Krishna, you are out of Maya. That is really humanitarian work, for it is the way to show the mercy to other people who need it very badly. The word Shushrushabhi Rataya indicates a person who faithfully engages in serving the spiritual master. One should give personal service and all kinds of comforts to the spiritual master. But spiritual master will not become enjoyer. He will accept only as much as is necessary for his bhajan, not more than that. If he takes more, then he will be at fault. A devotee who does so is also a bona fide candidate for taking this instruction. The word Bahir Jata Viragaya means a person who has developed detachment from external and internal material propensities. Not only is he detached from activities which are not connected to Krishna consciousness, but he should be internally averse to the material way of life. Such a person must be non-envious and should think of the welfare of all living entities, not only of the human beings, but living entities other than human beings. Animals also, and trees, aquatics, everyone. The word Shuchaya means one who is cleansed both externally and internally. To become actually cleansed externally and internally, one should chant the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna or Vishnu constantly. Externally, one thing is you have to take bath and wash hands after eating all this. That is one type of external cleanliness which devotees should maintain. But also external cleanliness means to engage all your senses in the service of Krishna. That is purity. Not only taking bath, but should be engaged in the service of Krishna. And internally means you have to clear all anarthas and offenses. And here Sai Maharaj is telling, to be actually clean, sarvatma snapanam, one has to chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. For whom this is possible? For one who realized his eternal relation with Krishna. He will constantly chant and without false ego. That is Nishta stage. he will subdue anarthas, and he will realize Krishna is eternal, I am his eternal servant, so service is eternal. He will constantly chant. He will also do counting. This counting is meant for those who didn't come to this platform. They have to start somewhere, fixed number, so that they will daily chant and they will get purification and other service like this. But when one comes to transcendental platform, then he will constantly chant. There is no any limitation that you have to chant 16 rounds or 32 rounds or 1 lakh or 3 lakh, no. He will constantly chant. He will also do fixed number of holy names for the sake of being example for those who are beginners. But he does not need that, because he's all the time chanting. The word dhyata means that knowledge of Krishna consciousness should be offered by the spiritual master. The spiritual master must not accept a disciple who is not qualified. Qualification means this: he has faith in Krishna and also he is ready to follow the devotional rules for the service of Krishna based on Shastra and Guru. Then he is qualified, otherwise not. If this qualification is not there and Guru instructs this, then he will commit offense. He should not be professional and should not accept disciples for monetary gains, for getting money. The bona fide spirit, so those who want the money and many followers like this, they will not tell. They will not tell you should not eat meat, no alcohol, no illicit sex. They will not say, because they cannot gather many people. And some will not be ready, so they will not tell this. So it means they are not serving Krishna. They are doing professional something for money. The bona fide spiritual master must see the bona fide qualities of a person whom he is going to initiate. An unworthy person should not be initiated. The spiritual master should train his disciple in such a way so that in the future only the Supreme Personality of Godhead will be the dearmost goal of his life. In these two verses, the qualities of a devotee are fully explained. One who has actually developed all the qualities listed in these verses is already elevated to the post of a devotee. If one has not developed all these qualities, he still has to fulfill these conditions in order to become a perfect devotee. Like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Haridas Thakur, "You are already perfect devotee. What is the need that you want to do this fixed number of chanting Harinam? And also you are old, so you can reduce your number, because when someone is old, then his body becomes more slow, mind also slow, so maybe he cannot finish 3 lakhs like Haridas Thakur wanted, or some disease is there. So he said, there is no need for you. You are already perfected. And due to old age, you can also reduce. But Haridas Thakur said, no, that is not the real reason. The real reason is I don't want to see your disappearance faster. So, but those who are not perfect, they have to practice from initiation. First, they have to qualify themselves for taking initiation, then they have to take initiation, then they have to practice in a regulated manner. Then when they will come fully purified state, then when that spontaneous devotion will awake, then for them, there is no need to follow these regulated devotional practices. Sometimes they will even break something, will go against some rule. But there is no harm, because what they are doing by their spontaneous devotion, that is pleasing to Krishna. They are serving Krishna, not based on rules and regulations, but by their spontaneous devotion. One who came to that platform, he does not need to follow these things, because he is already on higher platform of devotion. But still, those who are in society, or they are engaged in preaching, they will do these things to be example for other devotees. But internally, he will constantly serve in that spontaneous way. But some who are not like concerned with society or preaching, some like Avadutas, like Banshidas Babaji or like this, they will even not follow these Vaidhi things. Even they will break sometimes like this. So Prabhupada told to his disciples, don't go near him, because you will commit, you cannot understand his behavior. He's on transcendental platform. He is spontaneously serving Krishna, and he is not giving importance to these rules, sometimes even breaking. So you will judge his behavior, then you will commit offense to him. These rules are meant for us, not for him. So, and because he's not in preaching, so he only does that spontaneous devotion. So you don't go. Prabhupada is also Paramahamsa, but because he was ordered to preach, then he was following all these things, and also he to be example for others and for society, because as you already heard, so many immoral things were going on in the name of Raganuga or Paramahamsa like this, but they were not actually real devotion to Krishna. They were just immoral activities, but they gave excuse, no, we are above rules and regulations, we are above Shastra. That is why Prabhupada had to, and that was fully, people lost faith. In Mahaprabhu teaching, in Babaji's everything, they lost faith. That is why Prabhupada had to take sannyas to be still in this world, in society, as in Varna Ashram Dharma, regulated by Shastra, so he followed perfectly, and doing Shravan Kirtan, and having ideal character, and by that he could again bring the dignity of Gauriya Vaishnavism in India at that time, and he showed the glory of real Babaji, that is his Gurudev, Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, that there are pure Babajis also, not only bogus, but they're real. So I'm showing by my example that he is really that Paramahamsa. So Guru has to train disciple, then in a regulated manner, then gradually following, he can become perfect devotee. Ya idam shrinuyat amba shradaya purushah sakrit yo vabhi dhate machita sahyeti padavim chame. Anyone who once meditates upon me with faith and affection, who hears and chants about me, surely goes back home, back to Godhead. See, Shrinuyat, Shradaya, and thinking of me. This is Bhagavat, Mark, Shravan Kirtan. By Shravan Kirtan, then meditation is automatic, one can get perfection. But we cannot fully know. In Jiva Goswami he told, I can tell you one day, in Sandarbha, I will quote you that verse, that Bhagavat school says there is no need of Pancharatriki Vidhi to get pure devotion. Bhagavat, there is no need. And those devotees who are Bhagavatas, they say there is no need. But because we are not able to fully take advantage of this Bhagavat process, because our mind is restless and we have bad habits, so for us this regulation of initiation and deity worship and all these things is given so that we can properly do Shravan Kirtan. As you have heard, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, two disciples came to him from house to Vrindavan. Then Babaji Maharaj ordered them, you go to garden and you grow vegetables there. Then they were surprised. They said, we came to do bhajan, but why we have to do this work here? Then they asked Bhaktivinoda Thakur that our Gurudev gave us this, we cannot understand. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained, because Babaji Maharaj is a realized soul, so he knows what is your present status. Your mind is not controlled, your senses are not controlled. If he will tell you, you just sit and chant, or you sit and hear Bhagavatam, then you will not be able to take advantage of that. You will not serve properly. That is why he wants to engage your senses in a regulated manner, so that vegetables, they will be used for the service of deity, so your energy will be used for the service of Krishna, your senses and your mind and everything. Then gradually you can properly chant with service attitude, and you can hear Bhagavatam, Krishna Lila, all this you can hear. But now you have to be regulated in this manner. And while you are working in garden, also you can chant with your mouth, not with mala all the time, but with mouth. So bona fide guru will always give practice according to necessity of disciple. Then he can gradually progress. But those who have no any such problem, directly they can only do Bhagavat Marg, only Shravan Kirtan, and they will get perfection, like Parikshit Maharaj or Haridas Thakur. Though he was low-born, but he had firm faith in Harinam and was chanting with attention, with faith and attention, without offenses, and he got. Chapter 33, Activities of Kapila. Maitreya Uvach. Evam Nishamya Kapilasya Vacho Janitri Sakardamasya Daita Kila Devahuti Visrasta Moha Patala Tam Abhi Pranamya Tushtava Tattva Vishayankita Siddhi Bhumin. There in Bhakti Sandarbha and also in the commentary to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, where it is stated that Bhakti will destroy Prarabdha Karma also, then there is one verse given from Bhagavatam that even Chandala, dog eater, can be purified and can be eligible for Vedic sacrifices by chanting Harinam or getting darshan of Supreme Lord. So there, the Rupa Goswami, he says that this is the proof that prarabdha karma can be destroyed by bhakti. And then Jiva Goswami explained it in this way, that for doing Vedic sacrifices, one must be born as a Brahmin. And here it is stated that Chandala becomes qualified for Vedic sacrifices. It means that his prarabdha karma of low birth as a Chandala is destroyed by bhakti, by chanting Harinam. And then he says, but like someone who is born Brahmin, that is not the only qualification. Then he has to take Brahmin initiation into Gayatri and all this, and he will worship Shalagram and do Yagya and all these things. This also is necessary. That is second birth. So like that Chandala, now he already purified that problem of low birth. So he's as good as Brahmin born, like taking birth in Brahmin family. But he needs initiation, he said, but because there is no any such system now for giving initiation for such, then they will have to wait for another birth so that they can engage in sacrifices, Vedic sacrifices, by taking initiation into Gayatri and everything. But if there will be any such system, then that is also no harm. So Prabhupada started this. And Vishnu Chakri Thakur said that those who are doing Shravan Kirtan, Bhakti, they actually have no need and no desire to do those Vedic sacrifices. For them there is no need, they are already worshipping Krishna. But the point is they are qualified because by chanting. That is why in this Bhakti line, first they will engage you in Shravan Kirtan and giving Harinam initiation and chanting. By that you will remove this fault of that birth. Then you can also get Brahma Gayatri. For Vaishnav Diksha, there is no, that Pancharatriki Diksha, there is no any such necessity that one has to be born as a Brahmin. No need. Anyone can take who has faith. Pancharatriki. But for Brahma Gayatri, which is Vedic process, for that one needs to be born as a Brahmin. But by chanting Harinam, one will come to by destroying Prarabdha Karma, he will be like Brahmin born. Then he can also get Brahma Gayatri and can do this Vedic process also. So Prabhupada, on the order of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he started this. No one before him started this, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur noticed that those who are born Brahmins, they are committing offense to Vaishnavas, thinking they are of lower birth, they have bad karma, so we are superior to them, and they cannot be gurus, they cannot do Vedic study, they cannot do these things because they have bad karma. That is why of bad karma they are not born as Brahmins, so they are committing offense to transcendental Vaishnavas. So in order to show that one who is a Vaishnava, even slight connection with devotion, that verse is there, Rupa Goswami wrote it, means he quoted from Bhagavatam, and also Jiva Goswami commented that not that he has to be pure devotee, slight connection with devotion, Shravan Kirtan, Harinam, that will give him this status of qualification to do Vedic sacrifices. So it means they are as good as Brahmin born, because Prarabdha karma is destroyed by chanting. So Prabhupada started this for two reasons. Srila Sridhar Maharaj explained, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they are committing offenses. This is one reason, to show them, no, you should not think about Vaishnava in as bad karma and like a non-Brahmin. No, don't think. And another reason Sridhar Maharaj told that those who are, that is especially meant for Indians, those who are low-born, they have this prejudice, though they became Vaishnavas, still they have that prejudice, but we are not like Brahmins. We are not such born. So in order to show to them also, no, you are now as Brahmin born. But only being Brahmin born does not make you a pure Brahmin or pure Vaishnava. It gives you a chance to take initiation and to train yourself. You engage yourself in the service of Krishna in that Vedic mark. So Prabhupada, that is why Prabhupada started giving this Brahmin thread and Brahma Gayatri to all who have chanted Harinam. And from that platform, they should be seen. But that does not mean that anyone who is initiated, he is automatically pure devotee. No. That is starting point. He has to engage himself in the service of Krishna and has to purify himself of all remaining anarthas and everything and become pure devotee. And that is why Srila Bhaktivedanta Sai Maharaj, he gave Brahma Gayatri even to ladies, because in India generally in Vedic Vedic mark, there is Vedic, Pancharatrik and Bhagavat mark, 3. So Vedic mark, generally ladies, they were not engaged in that, getting initiation this. But there are some rare examples also in Upanishads, like Maitreyi Gargi. Maitreyi is one lady. She's discussing Upanishads, means that is Vedic process. And she's getting teaching in Upanishad, and there another one is Gargi, and there are some other Savitri like this, exceptional. So it is there, also can, if they are qualified. That is why Swami Maharaj also gave, based on this principle, those ladies who are chanting Harinam, they have destroyed their prarabdha karma of that lady born. No, that is destroyed. They are eligible to study Vedas, they are eligible to teach Vedas, all these things, because prarabdha karma is destroyed by Harinam. So that is why we have to see. The Goswami's writing is very precise, very clear explanation of all Shastra, and Acharyas, they will apply that in the in uplifting the conditioned souls. They will apply. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur applied many things from the writings of the Shastra which were not done before, but he did it because it was necessary at that time. Like Swami Maharaj also did, because it was necessary. Because some ladies, they were feeling we are, why we are lower, they were feeling, and some men, they were feeling we are higher. But that is not to be considered in devotional line about body. In devotional line, that is not qualification or disqualification, body. So in order to give this teaching, he also gave Brahma Gayatri for both reasons. That ladies, they should not feel low, and men should not feel higher just because of male body. No. It has nothing to do with devotion. That is why also you will find in Gauriya Vaishnavism, also in other, I think, tradition, but in Gauriya Vaishnavism, you will find lady gurus also, like Janava Mata, Hemalata, others, that Krishna Moyi, because devotion has nothing to do with the body. All those things which are in Shastra are, if they are related to karma kant or some other consideration, they cannot be applied in this case. Here we see Kapil Bhagavan is saying to Devahuti, I told you about pure devotion. So you should not instruct this to this kind of people, but you should instruct this to this kind of people. So here Devahuti is being instructed to whom she should give such knowledge, so she can be guru. Otherwise, why he told her? He told, my dear mother, I have explained to you the process of devotional service. I have explained to you all these things. There are varieties. Then he says, this instruction is not meant for those people, and instruction should be given to this faithful. Otherwise, what is the necessity of telling this to her? Yes, it is meant for everyone, but also to her. So here, the conclusion is, anyone who once meditates upon me with faith and affection, who hears and chants about me, this is Bhagavat mark, surely goes back home, back to Godhead. So we have to do, in Gauriya Mat, the males are given Vedic mark, Pancharatrik mark, and Bhagavat mark, all doing simultaneously in order to come to pure devotion. In Gauriya Mat, ladies will not get Brahma Gayatri, but in ISKCON they will get. Sai Maharaj introduced this also. Anyone who is. But ultimately, chanting Harinam will give us prem. Those other two margas are to help us surrender and to help us control our mind and senses, all these things, so that we can properly do Shravan Kirtan, properly do chanting Bhagavat Marg. They are helping. So, this next chapter, Sri Maitreya said, thus Devahuti, the mother of Lord Kapila and wife of Karda Muni, became freed from all ignorance concerning devotional service and transcendental knowledge. This is again like a lila pastime. Like Arjuna, he is eternally perfected soul, pure devotee. But he had to play the pastime of being in illusion so that we get this Bhagavad Gita through him. Like here, Devahuti, because she is the mother of Supreme Lord, how Supreme Lord can appear to someone who is not pure? So she played the pastime of I am conditioned so high, how I can be freed from Maya. Then Kapil Bhagavan instructed her, and like Arjuna said, now I am freed of illusion, I will do according to your order. Like here, now everything is clear. By devotion to Supreme Lord, one can be rescued from Maya. She offered her obeisances unto the Lord, the author of the basic principles of the Sankhya system of philosophy, which is the background of liberation, and she satisfied him with the following verses of prayer. Devahutir Uvach. Ata Pyajo Untah Salile Shayanam Bhutendriyarthatma Mayam Vapuste Guna Pravaham Sat Ashesha Bijam Dadyo Swayam Yajata Rabja Jata. We already heard before in Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva wrote 4 Vedas and Upanishads and Vedanta. But for those who are ladies and those of low born, like Vaishyas and others, for them, he gave that same Vedic knowledge through Mahabharata and Puranas, because that is more easy to understand, like a story, but ultimate teaching is the same. So there is no problem if one does not do Vedic mark. By Pancharatrik and Bhagavat mark, one will get everything. Even Pancharatrik is not always necessary. One can, even without Pancharatrik mark, only following Bhagavat mark, but engaging in the service of Vaishnava and this chanting Harinam, one can get also, even without deity worship. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that to those household devotees, he said, you do deity worship, you do Vaishnav Seva, and you constantly chant Harinam. That is your process. But next year, when they asked, he only mentioned these two, Harinam and Vaishnav Seva. Because by Vaishnav Seva, you can achieve the result of that deity worship. Pancharatrika mark means to regulate your life, to remove bad habits and to get stability of mind. Then you can hear and chant with attention. Then you will get the proper result. So by Vaishnav Seva, it is possible. Only Vaishnav Seva and Harinam also possible. So bona fide Guru will see how to engage, like Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. He engaged them. That was, their energy was used for the service of Krishna. In that way they purified their consciousness and senses, everything. Then they will be able to properly chant. Devahuti said, Brahma is said to be unborn because he takes birth from the lotus flower which grows from your abdomen while you lie in the ocean at the bottom of the universe. But even Brahma simply meditated upon you, whose body is the source of unlimited universes. Sa eva vishwasya bhavan vidhate guna pravahena vibhakta viryah sargadi aniho vitatha bi sandir atmeshwaro tarkya sahasra shakti. My dear Lord, although personally you have nothing to do, you have distributed your energies in the interactions of material modes of nature. And for that reason, the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation takes place. My dear Lord, you are self-determined and are the Supreme Personality of Godhead for all living entities. For them, you created this material manifestation, and although you are one, your diverse energies can act multifariously. This is inconceivable to us. So she got all realization of Supreme Lord. One who has, he can give to others also. Means he will give process how to realize. That is why, based on this principle, like deity worship or taking darshan of deity, that has to be open to all, anyone. It should not be based on some birth in certain caste or creed or race or part of the world like this. That is why in Jagannath Mandir, actually according to Shastra, everyone should be allowed. There was no restriction for Haridas Thakur like this and Rupa Sanatan, but they did not enter out of humility. Because we are impure, so someone will touch us, then that will not be good. So for that reason. But they are not impure. And even if you see from the point of view of Pancharatriki Vidhi, someone who is doing devotion to Krishna, chanting name, Shravan Kirtan, he also removed that problem of birth, in particular birth. He's as good as Brahmin. So he also has to be allowed to worship. According to Shastra, it should not be prohibited. But because of past bad experiences with others than Hindus, they are not allowing. They have a reason for this, that they are not faithful and their habits are not pure. So they are disturbance to worship, so that is why they are not allowed. Because Muslims, they were attacking British, they wanted to control India, rule India, all these things. So bad experience. But Jagannath himself says, I will come out. That time anyone can take my darshan. Dog eater, Muslim, British, anyone. So from Jagannath's side there is no problem. He gives darshan to all. Or Ratha Yatra day. And from outside, Patit Pavan. But should not enter, because there will be some disturbance to the worship. They will touch pujaris, or they will make some noise, or they will eat inside and not clean hand, or do all these bad habits. So in order that worship should not be disturbed, they are not allowing anyone. But even during Ratha Yatra time, anyone can offer food to Jagannath. Whether initiated or not, white man, anyone can offer from distance, and Jagannath will accept by his eyes. He will accept every kind of offering. That is possible. But in general, those who are not pure, they should not go inside, because they will disturb worship. Rupa and Sanatan and Haridas Thakur, they showed this by their own example, why they did not want to enter, so as not to pollute the worship. Though they have no bad habits, but they showed by example. Why? But if someone is like properly trained, he is chanting Harinam, and he is properly trained how for deity worship and maintaining cleanliness and everything, then he will not create any disturbance for the worship. He will support and contribute to the worship, but then others will also want why he can go inside. He is a white man. I'm also white. I can also go. So that is why they generally prohibit. But it may change if Jagannath will allow. That may change. But if he will not, then that will not change. But that does not mean that anyone is deprived of service of Supreme Lord in any way, even not in Puri. Satvam brito me jatarena natho katam nu yasyodara etat asit vishvam yugante vata patra eka shetes mamaya shishur angripana. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you have taken birth from my abdomen. O my Lord, how is that possible for the Supreme One who has in his belly all the cosmic manifestation? Means I am also in his belly. Then how he appeared from my belly, from my abdomen? The answer is that it is possible. For at the end of the millennium, you lie down on a leaf of a banyan tree, and just like a small baby, you lick the toe of your lotus foot. That is that Markandeya Rishi saw this. So it is by Achintya Shakti of Supreme Lord. So tomorrow we will hear further.